Welcome back. This is Good Morning Namibia. Now, Creatives Connect Afrika is the inaugural festival and forum designed to spotlight Africa's creative industries as catalysts for trade and continental integration. This groundbreaking event brings together creatives, investors, and industry leaders for dialogue, deal-making, and celebration, and it will take place in Accra, Ghana next week. Joining us with more on the festival is the Director of African Continental Free Trade Secretariat, Madam Emily Mburu. Good morning, ma'am, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing on this gift of a Friday, ma'am?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling blessed and really working hard to make sure that Creative Connect Africa, which is an AFCFTA forum and festival on the tourism, creative, and cultural industries that we are organizing in Accra, Ghana, as you have mentioned.
Fantastic. Now, speak to us about what aspects of Creatives Connect Africa stand out as most significant for Africa's creative industries.
Thank you very much. I think you have already mentioned it. One of the key elements is the fact that we shall be bringing together policymakers, investors, the creators themselves to meet, look at what are the key challenges that they are facing and how can the policymakers assist the creatives industry to have better access, that is market access into the different countries, and also to ensure that they are able to benefit. And the creatives, most of us take creatives as just hobbies and entertainment, but creatives is actually a sector that contributes to the economy, and it is time that we helped our creators to actually benefit from the creations that they make. And we hope that there shall be sessions for B2B, whereby we will be able to kickstart investment in the different areas in terms of the creatives industry. And as you may be aware, we are focusing on film, music, and the fashion industries. So they are all very interesting areas that we hope our creators in these sectors will be able to gain from attending this event in Accra.
I think there should be overarching consensus, ma'am, that the time certainly is now that we take this potential contribution by the creative sector very seriously. Now, if we focus on next week's platform, in what ways do you think the event could reshape Africa's creative economy over the next couple of years?
Lovely. I believe one of the key areas is the fact that there is also a lot of digital innovation that is happening in the creative sector. And so because of that, we are seeing that once we bring all the different key elements together and have what we are calling cross-border collaborations, even between the creators themselves and even between their agents, and let's say even the matchmaking between the creators and the investors and the business players, we shall then be able to have a platform that will create a network such that if a DJ has a gig, let's say in Accra, and they would want to invite a DJ from Namibia, then it should be easier, and we should be able to facilitate that such that all the barriers to trade, because that is trade actually, in terms of bringing the collaboration, then it's made easier for the movement of the DJ from Namibia to come to Accra and actually participate in that performance. So those are the key areas. We want to create a platform that will make it easier for the creators, for the investors to also have, even for the investors, they need to feel that the creators will actually be able to deliver. So those are some of the key elements we need to discuss, see how do we ensure that the creators know the investors know the creators, and so in so doing, then we are able to match them in a more conducive environment.
Another key element, of course, relates to sustainability. How will bringing together creatives, the investors, and industry leaders contribute to the long-term industry growth and sustainability of the sector?
Okay, let's look at it this way. We all know the American movies we watch, the South African movies, now Nollywood. So the idea is, how do we ensure that we have more of Nollywoods in Africa? Let's say if we are talking film. How do we ensure that we have more collaborations between our musicians? How do we ensure that we can have a fashion show in South Africa that is by West African designers? So those are the different elements we are looking at. And so we hope that as we start this work together with the investors, together with the policymakers, and also together with the creators, we will then create momentum. And in the end, we are hoping to have a network of all these different players in the creative industry, and to also ensure that we have this as an annual event where creators and all the different players can actually come and engage. So for sustainability, we are really key on it, and we hope that we will create then a network of all the different players in the creative industry, and then create for them a platform where they can be able then to come together and collaborate much more easily.
Madam Mburu, the potential under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is immense, but there are some hurdles that we need to address. Speak to us about some of the challenges and how those will be addressed at the festival as far as Africa's creative sector is concerned.
Okay, there are quite a number of challenges. We cannot get away from that as of now. So one of the key elements we want to deal with is the issue of movement of persons. So if we can be able to have, let's say, mutual recognition agreements between countries to allow for creatives to easily move from one country to another, that will already be a groundbreaker. Now, you may ask yourself, why did we choose Accra, Ghana for this event? You may be aware that the president of Ghana actually is pushing to ensure that the issues of creatives is handled, and that the creatives contribute to the economy fully. So those are some of the hurdles we need to deal with. We need to make sure that the policymakers understand that these creatives actually are contributing to the economy. I know it's difficult, but if I had told my mother I want to be a musician or an actress in our days, she would have looked at me like I have lost it. So it is actually also to try and change the mentality of policymakers, of the business people, of the investors, of the bankers, to say that this is actually a sector that you can invest in. And so that is really what we are pushing and working towards.
Madam, we've run out of time. Any final thoughts briefly, please?
Thank you very much. I think maybe just to mention that the event is actually a collaboration between the AFCFTA Secretariat, the African Tourism Partners based in South Africa, and the Black Star Experience, which is actually an agency under the presidency of Ghana to push the creative industries. And so we hope that this collaboration will be successful to ensure that we take care of the creators, and also bring to the forefront the issues of policy and how to handle the barriers to trade in the creatives and cultural and tourism industries. That will be the game breaker.
Asante sana for your time, and may the event next week be a resounding success.
Asante sana na karibu, and welcome to Accra, Ghana. Akwabaha.
Asante sana, karibu sana.
Thank you.